Hello there.
We are back with some more X-Files, ladies and gentlemen. The episode 1 reaction of season 2 went really well. I uploaded that just the other day. I'm yet to edit episodes 2 and 3, which I have already recorded. And today we are up to episode 4. What is going on, guys? My name is Elie Moses, a 25-year-old law and film student in Sydney, Australia. Absolutely shooting shot. And just like I said, today we are up to episode 4 of the X-Files season 2. Like I said at the end of the last reaction, I know I haven't uploaded it yet, but like I said at the end of the episode 3 reaction, we are 3 from 3 so far on season 2. Let's see if we can make it 4 from 4. Let's get into the reaction. Let's have some fun with this thing. This one is titled Sleepless. And as always, let's absolutely smash it. New York City, 11:23 p.m. Damn!
This is Dr. Saul Grissom. There's a fire outside my apartment. I'm trapped. Are you
Lucky Mulder's not here, man. We all know how he is with fire. We saw that in season 1. Well, he did. Oh! Oh! Is that Tony Todd? Is it? The Candyman himself? Death himself? R.I.P. my guy.
Lieutenant Reagan, we have a possible 2-3 false alarm at apartment 606. Let's confirm that location. It's cold. Let's do it.
Yo, did he imagine that fire?
You look dead.
Nothing here.
Ooh. Pioneer in sleep disorders. And Tony Todd.
Grissom's company had a number of government contracts which would place this investigation within the Bureau's jurisdiction.
But that's not why you want the assignment.
Because it's a potential X-File.
I think that the circumstances surrounding Grissom's death warrant a closer look. I called NYPD, but they won't even talk to me unless you get the Attorney General to sign off on it.
Presumably someone has led you to believe there's more here than is being reported.
A friend at
My
the
source,
FBI.
the only one I've ever trusted is dead.
I'll look into this further and let you know. In the meantime, you have 24 hours of wiretap tape that need to be transcribed.
That's going to be a long 24 hours.
You said you was coming. No, come on.
Yeah.
It's your 302. Assistant Director Skinner just approved it.
Woo!
There's a mistake here. There's been another agent assigned to the case.
That would be me. Krychek. Alex Krychek.
Skinner didn't say anything about taking on a partner.
It wasn't Skinner. Actually, I opened the file 2 hours before your request, so technically it's my case.
See, whenever we have another agent do this with Mulder like this, and whenever, like, we've seen it in the episodes when Mulder's worked with an older friend, Scully's worked with an older friend. We see what the older friends have done when they end up, you know, being revealed as ultimate careerists, intending to screw Scully and Mulder over just to pursue their own interests. This is not even an old friend here. This is just a random. I don't trust him.
The walls and floor in his living room were covered with ammonium phosphate.
But no trace of fire.
Not even a burnt match.
Is that all you know?
Yeah, so far. What do you think it means?
Listen, I appreciate the show and tell, and I don't want you to take this personally, but I work alone. I'll straighten things out with Skinner.
It's my case, Agent Mulder. Look,
There's gonna be
green.
There's gonna be an interesting
But I have the
dynamic.
case first. I'm not going to give it away so quickly.
Why don't you get out of the motor pool and requisition us a car, and I'll meet you down there.
You can.
That's all. I mean, you don't have a problem with us working again.
It's your party.
You can hear how enthused
I'll get the car.
Mulder is about working with Krychek here. doesn't seem. I know we're only a couple minutes in.
Electrocution affects electrolytic conduction,
Okay.
disrupting the heartbeat and most of the autonomic systems.
Agent Scully, sorry to interrupt, but you have a call from a George Hale. Says it's urgent.
Excuse me.
George Hale. Mulder, what's up?
Where are you?
National Airport. Catching the shuttle up to LaGuardia in about half an hour. How do you feel about joining me in the Big Apple for an autopsy?
What's going on?
I was hoping you could tell me.
I can't do it today. My last class isn't over until 4:30.
Oh, that's fine. I can have the ME wrap the body to go.
Mulder,
You'll get it by 5.
what's the name?
Bro, let her have a social life. Let her finish her work. Let her finish her work and go home. I was about to say, like, there doesn't seem to be any indication that Scully's gonna be in this episode, but there she was doing her autopsy classes again, or like doing her autopsy things. And yeah, you can see it now. You guys said in the comments of episode 1, and I didn't pay attention to it much in episode 2 and 3 because obviously I'd watched those before I uploaded episode 1, but you can see the framing with Gillian Anderson typically seems to be from the waist up, and there of course she was covered by the table. That's because I think she was pregnant during the filming of this season. I don't know if it's the entire season or the beginning of this season, but yeah, interesting. I'm gonna pay attention more to the framing of Scully earlier on of this season.
Dr. Grissom's alpha wave analysis defined the standard. It revolutionized the way we think about sleep. His death is a tremendous loss to the scientific community.
How many other kinds of sleep disorder did he treat?
I love the way they framed Mulder right there with the extreme wide long shot. Very
Dr.
similar
Grissom's alpha wave analysis
to Little
defined the
Green Men
standard.
in the episode, the very first episode with him, or like with the alien, or alien silhouette, you know, walking through the door or being seen through the bright white light in the door. A very similar framing right there with Mulder, being in that position in the extreme wide long shot. I feel like that's very intentional right there.
It revolutionized the way we think about sleep. His death is a tremendous loss.
You know,
to
that
the
white shot of the
scientific
hallway.
community.
How many other kinds of sleep disorder did he treat?
Still experimental, but what we're trying to do is modify his brainwave patterns externally.
How do you do that?
Electrical stimulation of the occipital lobe creates simple visual and auditory hallucinations.
So it's actually possible to alter somebody's dreams?
In theory, yes.
Damn. I wonder where Krajcek is. Aren't they meant to be working the case together, these two? I was like, Mulder doing things alone again.
I paid off your cab.
Oh, here we go.
I don't appreciate being ditched like someone's bad date.
I spoke too soon.
Let me get off copying this attitude. I mean, you don't know the first thing about me.
Exactly.
You know, back at the academy, some of the guys used to make fun of you.
Oh, stop it. Are you going to hurt my
But
feelings?
there was some of us who followed your work, believed what you were doing because we knew there was more out there than they were telling us.
I think you should come back up here and take a look for yourself. I haven't even started on the chest and the abdomen yet, and I'll have a lot more to tell you then.
Woo!
I can make it in 2 hours.
Where are we going?
I get why Mulder doesn't trust Krajcek, or is very hesitant to.
Spleen or pancreas?
Stomach. I was just about to start on it.
Oh, this is Alex Krajcek. We're working the case together.
Aww.
Good to meet you.
There we go. Framed from the waist above.
Notice the pugilistic attitude of the corpse. I found extradural hemorrhages, which can only be caused by intense heat.
From
Somehow
his dream.
This man suffered all of the secondary, but none of the primary physiological responses to having been in a fire. I can't even begin to explain what could have caused something like this. I mean, it's almost as if...
What?
Krajcek shouldn't be here.
As if his body believed that it was burning.
Hey, it looks like we're gonna go 4 from 4 in the beginning of season 2. I mean, it was probably already 4 from 4 when we found out Tony Todd was gonna be in this episode. All right, that was like the first minute.
You left the door open, Willie.
Preacher?
Not a good idea leaving your door open in this neighborhood. You never know who's gonna drop by.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Want a beer?
How you doing, Henry?
Huh?
So cool to have Tony Todd, man.
I know.
He's so good.
You killed him, didn't you? You killed Grissom. I saw it on TV.
So did the doctor do some kind of experiment on them?
Can't get away from it.
Are they war veterans, these two?
He retains not his anger forever, because he delights in mercy. He will turn again. He will have compassion on us. He will subdue our iniquities, Henry.
Are these guys vets from the Vietnam War?
Into the depths of the sea.
And Henry's seeing the victims?
All right, Henry.
Oh, this guy's gonna be... He's gonna believe he's being shot. How are we gonna diagnose this one?
He said if he didn't know otherwise, that's where there were gunshot wounds.
Interesting.
This is the scar right here.
According to his medical history, the only surgery he ever had was an appendectomy.
Unless they got to his appendix through his neck.
Maybe it happened in Vietnam. Willie did a tour with the Marines in 1970.
Okay,
I'm sure
so they
didn't
were
keep those
veterans,
records.
both of them,
Was a Marine?
potentially.
So where do all Marines receive basic training on the East Coast?
Paris Island?
Where Grissom was stationed from 1968 to 1971.
So he did some experimentation,
We
Grissom,
were there at the same time. 24 years ago.
on war veterans.
I've been supervising Mr. Cole's treatment since I admitted him 12 years ago. Afraid you won't find him very cooperative, though.
We just want to ask him a few questions about his military service.
I really love the camera movement right there to establish that scene, with it sort of tracking the overhead pipes and sort of it spinning and then coming down, and walking back with Mulder, Krycek, and this other doctor here. That was pretty
He
sick.
doesn't respond very well to authority figures.
They have great transitions in the
Is that why you put
X-Files
him in isolation?
to establish
He had
other
to house
scenes
Mr.
and transition
Cole
into
in
other
a section of
scenes.
the ward because he was interfering with our treatment of the other patients.
How was he interfering?
He was disrupting their sleep patterns. Here we are. Mr. Cole, we have some gentlemen here to...
Brother, these guys haven't realized he's been broken out?
Most certainly did not. Don't you think I'd remember if I did?
Oh, he fought. He Jedi mind tricked him.
Sign the order yourself. That is your signature, isn't it?
You will sign these papers. I will sign these papers. I love immediately. I even like in all the media I've seen Tony Todd in. He has such a weight to him on screen. Like he has that on-screen gravitas, and I love it. And immediately in the scene where he was introduced with Henry, they straight away framed him sort of like in the shadows in the dark. And then when he came closer, they used the low-angle camera shot panning up to him, I guess to establish his dominance on screen over Henry and how he towers over everyone. I'm guessing, I don't know how tall he was, but in all the things I've seen him, especially in like the OG Candyman, which I've done a reaction to on this channel, actually, funnily enough, and the Final Destination films, he always towers over figures, or like he always, like I said, has that on-screen presence, which is absolutely sensational. I mean, he is like, I know I've started getting into the horror genre a little bit like later on in life. I never really liked horror films, but I've learned to appreciate how much the horror community absolutely adores Tony Todd. He's like a Hall of Famer. He's a cult hero in the horror community. I could be wrong in saying this, but let me know what you guys think. But I feel like that's the general reaction I get. And even when it came to the Oscars this year in 2025, I saw a lot of Twitter posts really sort of a lot of people voice their disappointment and anger at Tony Todd not being mentioned in the Remembrall service at the Oscars, or like the Remembrall montage, which kind of sucks for like a cult sort of like hero, like a cult hero, or like a really prominent figure in the horror genre, and a person who's done so much and is like, yeah, a cult hero in the horror genre. And they did the same with, I know it's not a horror individual, but they did the same for Bernard Hill from Lord of the Rings, which, yeah, I was like kind of bummed out by it. I know it's a little.
Mulder.
Mr. Mulder, I've obtained information that might shed some light on your
Here we
current
go.
work.
The friend at the FBI.
Exercise discretion when we meet. If anyone follows you, I won't be there.
It seems like this friend at the FBI here is aware that someone else is on the case with Mulder. Ooh, open stadium. Under construction. Is this MetLife or what ends up being MetLife? Or no, am I tripping? I wonder what stadium it is.
Who are you?
Who I am is irrelevant.
The new Deep Throat.
Why are you trying to help me?
You think I want to be here, Agent Mulder? I don't want to be here.
I like him already.
What is this?
Data from a top-secret military project. Born of the idea that sleep is the soldier's greatest enemy.
Grissom was conducting sleep deprivation experiments on Paris Island.
Not deprivation. Eradication.
Why?
Why else? To build a better soldier.
Interesting.
Sustained wakefulness dulls fear, heightens aggression. Science had just put a man on the moon, so they looked to science to win a losing war.
And Willig and Cole were the lab rats.
Lab rats with the highest kill ratio in the Marine Corps. 4,000 plus confirmed kills. for
What
13
the
years.
heck?
You think Cole's behind what's happening now?
I'm not here to do your thinking, Agent Mulder. All I know is Augustus Cole hasn't slept in 24 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
There's
So
someone else you should see.
Whatever experimentation
Another
he
member
did.
of the squad who was reportedly killed in action.
I thought Cole was the last.
His name is on the envelope.
Whatever experimentation he did ended up working.
Well, how do I contact you?
You can't.
I may need more.
You still don't get it, do you? Closing the X-Files, separating you and Scully was only the beginning. The truth is still out there.
But you must trust no one as well.
It's never been more dangerous. The man we both knew paid for that information with his life.
Deep Throat.
A sacrifice I'm not willing to make.
Yeah, this guy's gonna tread carefully. Very carefully. Very carefully. Like, you know how it's like a friend at the FBI? Wouldn't Mulder be able to do a little bit of research and find out who this guy is that works at the FBI? Or potentially, no, he may not be at the FBI, but he just calls himself a friend at the FBI. If that makes sense. Like, wouldn't a lot of people in the FBI know about, like, people, know about investigators in this department and that department, or like have heard of someone, for instance? Like, even Krychek was saying this episode, you know, in the academy, we looked up to you and stuff like that. Okay, I don't think that's MetLife. But the way we're panning back here suggests the reveal that Krychek was potentially spying. Oh, no. I thought Krychek was going to be spying on this interaction. Speak of the devil.
Where were you? Someone matching Cole's description just robbed a drugstore in Queens. And police have located him in a motel around the corner.
Is he alive?
He wasn't. The night manager saw him. So where were you?
That's top secret.
Officer down! We got 2 officers down. Both critical. Request emergency vehicle.
I mean, the guy has 4,000 confirmed kills with his squad.
What's going on here, Mulder? These 2 officers, they shot each other.
Oh. Yeah. He did the thing on them. He did the thing on them.
A similar scar should also be evident on Augustus Cole.
Woo!
Post-op treatment included a regimen of synthetic supplements to replenish the organic deficits caused by prolonged lack of sleep.
I could listen to
This
Scully
is
read her
consistent with
reports
the
all day, or
antidepressant
narrate her
Cole
reports
robbed
all
from the
day.
pharmacy. I can neither quantify nor substantiate its success without further clinical evidence.
I love.
Scully.
The second officer is still in a coma, so I don't think we can count on him to tell us what happened.
They're incredible.
Well, the military already sent troops through radioactive mushroom clouds. I guess they figured they had to top themselves, right?
Really?
Sleep eradication still doesn't explain the shooting of those two officers, or the anomalous autopsy results on well-conducted Grissom.
Well, I learned something at Grissom's clinic about what happens to a person's cortex when you stimulate it with electricity.
Are you suggesting that Cole killed those people with telepathic images?
Interesting.
In all those years without REM sleep, maybe Cole built a bridge between the waking world and the dream world, the collective unconscious. And what if by existing consciously in the unconscious world, he's developed the ability to externalize his dreams and effectively alter reality?
That is
Even if
insane.
you're right, you'll have a much better chance of finding Cole if you work up a profile and try and surmise his next move.
I'll be right there, Kreitzer.
Where are you going?
We're going to check out another member of the squad, see if he can tell us something about Cole.
Sounds like your new partner's working.
Nah, I don't think
He's
so.
all right.
Man.
He could use a little more seasoning and some wardrobe advice, but he's a lot more open to extreme possibilities
Than I was?
than I assumed he would.
Must be nice not having someone questioning your every move, poking holes in all your theories.
No.
Oh yeah, it's great. I'm surprised I put up with you.
Hey, come on, man. We need these two back together.
You better go. I'll read over this report again and see what else I can come up with.
Okay.
Right. You can tell they need it. Like, they want to be working together. It's like splitting up Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. They're meant to be together. They're meant to be, like, not in relationship or, you know, intimate wise. They're just meant to be together as a pair of investigators. They just work so well together. I love the blue reflection completely covering Scully's glasses right there. That was so good. I really want to see.
They said it'd be like living 2 lifetimes.
Tony Todd's character.
And that, at first, that's what it was like.
Talk to Mulder this episode.
Not having to sleep and all.
I need that interaction. We need that
It made us
interaction.
feel like nothing could touch us, you know. We do 24-hour patrols, night ambushes, you know, that type of thing.
Basically super soldiers, man.
Not so that we had to sleep.
Well, then who did you take orders from?
We didn't. We just made up missions as we went along, you know, until it didn't matter anymore who we were killing.
That's
farmers,
insane.
Women. Outside of Fubai, there was this. That's what we used to call him on account that he was always reading from his Bible, you know, saying this and that about Judgment Day. Saying
Preacher,
that one
baby.
day we were going to have to pay for what we were doing. Him and Dr. Girardi.
Who's Dr. Girardi?
The other doc on the project, the one who did the surgeries on us.
Okay.
It's because of him. I haven't slept a night in 24 years.
Guessing that procedure cannot be reversed, or maybe it can be reversed.
We'll try to have a photograph waiting for us at the security desk so we know who we're looking for, okay?
Got it.
Scully doing wonders this episode. Scully doing wonders.
Mulder, FBI, you got a photo?
Hey, you can separate the two from each other, but damn, the chemistry is undeniably there, even through the phone, even through the phone.
Right here.
Dr. Girardi, Did he shoot blanks? No.
All right.
Jordy! Where is he?
Jordy's not here.
I saw him.
He was altering Mulder's.
Mulder! You were shouting and waving your gun around. Girardi never showed.
Mulder, they've been here. I would have seen them. I'm telling you, Mulder, they weren't here.
You saw him doing the Jedi mind trick on Mulder.
Okay, there's nothing here, so let's...
There's things you're not telling me that I need to know.
The system ideas usually aren't very popular.
I told you I want to believe, but I need a place to start.
I don't know, man.
You shall pay as the judges determine. You shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
Yo,
turn for
Girardi
turn,
about to get
wound for
violated.
wound, stripe for stripe. As he has disfigured a man, so shall he be disfigured. And he who kills a man.
Come on, man. I need that Mulder Tony Todd one-on-one. That will be such a great conversation between the two. Come on, please. Give it to us.
He's still alive. Put pressure on the wound on the back of his neck and radio for help. Now!
On Krychek, man.
This is Agent Krychek requesting emergency assistance. My location is track 17 in the freight warehouse.
You gonna jump off?
Putting down my gun. Just want to talk to you for a few minutes. After that, you're free to do whatever you want.
Come on.
I'm tired.
I know.
No, man, you don't know. You have no idea.
1 minute is all I'm asking.
I wonder if obviously the existence of this sort of sleep or like this sleep procedure, this sleep eradication procedure, this episode is a commentary on obviously the PTSD soldiers have. I'm pretty sure it is, if I'm not wrong, a commentary on the PTSD soldiers have post-war, the sleepless nights and stuff like that after what they went through and things like that. And I don't know if it's also a commentary as well. I don't know if this is reaching too far into it, but also especially at the time, the lack of systems in place, after being discharged, after serving their country. I could be wrong here, but you saw that the other guy that died first, Henry, was on like a disability pension, or like he wasn't living too well. He didn't have the best conditions. And he didn't seem to be taking care of himself that like too well. Even the other guy working as a chef, and obviously they don't look too well because of the lack of sleep for 24 years. But at the same time, it could be a commentary on, the lack of systems in place and the lack of care given to these soldiers post-war. And I wonder if it is a commentary on that.
Blood's boiling in my veins. I can feel the air stinging on my skin.
What the military did to you was wrong. But maybe your testimony can help.
Cut out a piece of my brain. They made me into somebody else. I can never get back what they took away from me.
Oh, don't you dare, Krychek. Don't you dare.
Krychek, put down the gun and get out of here.
He's going to screw it up, isn't he?
Krychek, I said put down the gun and get out of here. No!
He was toying with Krychek's brain. Finally gets to sleep.
He had a gun. He was gonna shoot you.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Krychek in that situation, obviously. Like, Mulder was
You did the right thing.
placed in that specific situation before with Girardi. Like he knows what he was seeing with the Girardi situation as well. But it sucks because I wanted, obviously he was holding the Bible in his hand, preacher. But like it sucks that we don't get to see more Tony Todd. I wanted that interaction to be much longer, that one-on-one. But in terms of, oh no. Krychek, you muppet. He knew, right? He
I
knew.
broke into my office, went through my... Without that report as evidence, Skinner's not going to authorize an investigation.
He said it's never been more dangerous.
Scully from the shoulder up.
Skinner,
The man who leaked us the report, the one who's been helping us.
you actually met with him?
He said the closing down the X-Files was just the beginning. That we've never been in greater danger.
That's also not, oh man, it's also not a good look for Mulder in terms of like establishing that relationship with the friend inside of the FBI by losing the report this episode. The report that he gave him.
Do you trust him?
Trust no one. Mulder shouldn't trust no one, man. I can't believe.
Do you know where he got this?
Not yet. But he got it,
The smoke monster.
which means he's either found another source, or another source has found him.
Another source has found him. I
Sir, if I
knew.
can recommend something, you'll see that I've outlined several countermeasures.
Freaking Krychek, man. I knew it from the start.
What about Scully?
Reassigning them to other sections seems only to strengthen their determination. Scully's a problem,
I know, he just doing what he's told, but like,
a much larger problem than you described.
she good. That's why. She very good.
Every problem has a solution.
We need to cut out this guy's smoke supplies. He wants to put out that fire. He wants to put out that fire. I get the metaphor. He want to put out the fire of Mulder and Scully. But yeah, listen, I after hearing trust no one from freaking Deep Throat, come on, man. Trust no one. Trust no one. I can't believe Mulder was so gullible this episode to trust Krychek so quickly. And I'm interested. I'm actually curious. Like, they pulled the pin on or they pulled the plug on Krychek this episode. Like, they could have prolonged this with Krychek, in terms of him gaining, the trust of Mulder, on an episodic basis, like throughout multiple episodes. They could have dragged out that arc with Krychek for a longer period of time, in my opinion, because he won over Mulder's trust this episode. But quickly, obviously, we realized the files were taken and they were handed to the smoke monster. And, they're unaware about who this friend in the FBI is, which tells you that the new Deep Throat guy is really good. Like, he's covering his tracks well and he's really, really going under the radar, which is good for Mulder and Scully, which means, yeah, they got that friend at the FBI. But who this smoke monster guy is, who he's working for, is quite interesting. So I knew Krychek was bad news from the beginning of the episode. He's just doing what needs to be done. He's just a good soldier following orders. If you watch Clone Wars, good soldiers follow orders. So that's all he's doing. But at the same time, I was freaking like Mulder, man. Trust no one. And I feel like he bought into the Krychek, pep talk too easily when he said, listen, I want to believe you and I know you are kind of right, but you just gotta, let me in on what you think is really happening. I really want to believe you. And yeah, when Mulder hears that someone wants to believe, he's too quick to give out that information. Damn, man. Damn. It was a really good episode. We're 4 from 4. I think this was better than episode 3 in my opinion. Of course, we had Tony Todd, a really good guest star appearance or cameo, and I hope there's many more to come in the X-Files. And I already know, like you guys said, because of watching Lost, you guys say a lot of Lost actors, or a few Lost actors make a few cameos in this series. I don't know which episodes they are, which is good. But I do know some, actors. Oh no, I know one actor makes a cameo. But I don't know if there are any more, which is good. But I don't. And the other good thing is I don't know which episodes. So yeah. Like I said, 4 from 4, a great episode. And I wonder if you guys agree with me with the commentary about the PTSD with soldiers post-war, and the lack of systems in place after that to take care of the soldiers, and sort of help embed them back into society. So yeah, because you saw the state of Henry this episode, you saw the state of the other guy, and you also saw the state of Preacher. So yeah, a really good episode of the X-Files. And then also, like I said, we got the introduction of the new Deep Throat. We got to see him, and he seems like a really cool character. The Smoke Monster working behind the scenes again with Krychek as another sort of pawn that he's using to gather evidence on Mulder and Scully. And, the Smoke Monster is now aware that Scully is just as dangerous as Mulder to them, just as strong. And she's really good. And she proved that this episode that she's really good. So, yeah, their desires burning, is burning more than ever. No pun intended for the beginning of the episode. But, yeah, like the ending of the episode suggests, the Smoke Monster wants to put out that fire. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. It's been your boy, Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.